Courtland Simmons with you here at the CS Racing Report with the Arkansas Derby preview, split into two divisions, 11 horses in both fields originally. Now it's down to 10. There's been scratches in both divisions. Let's look at Division 1. Charlatan for Bob Baffert is the favorite off his two brilliant allowance scores. This is his first try in stakes company. He's 7-5. Charlatan out of post 1. Number 2 is My Friend's Beer at 15-1. Number 3, Mimosa, last in the Tampa Bay Derby, 30-1. Gouverneur Morris, fourth in the Florida Derby after winning an allowance race after a long layoff at Tampa. Won that allowance race after finishing second in the Breeders' Futurity. That's where the long layoff came in prior to his Tampa run. Fourth in the Florida Derby. Highly regarded for trainer Todd Pletcher. He's coming out of post 4. 3-1. Is he the real deal? Will he put it together in the Arkansas Derby? Number 5 is Jungle Runner, 30-1. Number 6, Scratch Shooter Shoot. Number 7, Wrecking Crew, well beaten in the San Felipe by another Baffert trainee, Authentic, 12-1. Anna Dior, one of the X Factors, runner-up in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile to storm the court. Second to 1,000 words in the Los Al Futurity. Well beaten, bombed in the LeCompte when shipping in Louisiana. He gets the blinkers off for trainer Blaine Wright, and the question is going to be whether he's going to appreciate both the equipment change and the added distance of the Arkansas Derby. Anna Dior out of post 8 at 8-1. Winning impression is interesting for trainer Dallas Stewart. He has off-track form with 2 wins. He was disqualified in his last run at the home of the Arkansas Derby, Oaklawn Park. But he has that off-track form, and he's getting a good price morning line-wise anyway at 30-1 winning impression out of post 9. Number 10 is Crypto Cash at 15-1. First in a turf score, fourth in his last start on dirt. Number 11 is Basin. Crypto Cash is 15-1, by the way. Basin is 8-1 for trainer Steve Asmussen, the winner of the Grade 1 Hopeful. Had a long layoff, ran credibly, even finishing third in the Rebel. Ran okay in the Oaklawn Mile. He was fourth there. A lot of people wondering whether, he really wants distance. This is his opportunity to show that the 2 races prior were needed and that he's going to peak here in the Arkansas Derby. Basin out of hole 11 at 8-1. My picks for the first division: I like Charlatan. I'm no dummy, but, I'm going to dare the other horses to beat him. I'm pretty sure there's some bettors out there that want to try to beat Charlatan, but I'm going with the 1 and the 4. He and Gouverneur Morris to fill out the exacta box, and then you could use the number 9 winning impression with that big price. We'll see what the price actually is at post time. Picking up the 3rd spot, and then number 8, Anna Dior, filling out your superfecta. Basin is interesting, though. You could definitely use him underneath in your superfecta, but he could be one to disrupt the exacta and with a big run, either finishing second or first. And we're going to find out a lot about whether he can crack the code in this Arkansas Derby. Meantime, Division 2 offers a lot of value betting-wise. On paper, it's considered to be the stronger of the 2 divisions of the Arkansas Derby. Finnick the Fierce, 4th in the LeCompte, after being 3rd in the Kentucky Jockey Club, will be coming out of post 1 at 30-1. Saratogian, a lot of people wondering why Saratogian is in here. He's 50-1 after finishing last in his last outing for trainer Rodolphe Basset. Number 3 is the lukewarm 2-year-old champion, Storm the Court. He is 0-2 in 2020. 4th in the San Vicente, 3rd in the San Felipe. To Bob Baffert trainees, the question's going to be, or he's going to answer the question that whether he really wants distance. He's going to get his opportunity to get the added ground that hopefully Peter Urton and the connections want in this race. Storm the Court at 10-1. Coming out of hole number 3. Number 4 is the 49-1 surprise shocking winner of the Tampa Bay Derby, King Guillermo. He's 6-1 now, so he's definitely not 49-1, at least in the morning line odds. 119 U.S. time form, has a nice stalk and pounce style, showed good speed when sitting off speed horses in the Tampa Bay Derby. Question's going to be if he's going to be able to fire again. He was originally supposed to train up to the Kentucky Derby, although a lot of people didn't really buy into that. Now he's going to get an opportunity with the rescheduled Derby to show his stuff in here and show that the Tampa Bay Derby was for real. King Guillermo out of number 4. The likely post-time favorite, Nadal, named after the tennis legend, 7-5 out of hole number 5. 120 U.S. time form, the highest of anyone in both fields by 1 point over King Guillermo. Nadal out of hole number 5. Number 6 at 50-1 is Code Runner. He's been beaten by 12 1/4 and 24 1/4 lengths in his last 2 starts, which of course warrants the 50-1 morning line odds. Number 7 is another X Factor, Silver Prospector, trained by Steve Asmussen, well bred, 4th in the Smarty Jones, disappointed there after running well at Churchill. A home home of the Kentucky Derby. He then won the Southwest over Wells Bayou, who's also in the field. Then he bombed when having every opportunity to make a run in the Rebel, finishing 6th. So everybody's wondering, which Silver Prospector will we see? Does he really want to shine at the Ad 9 for a long distance? We're going to certainly find out coming out of hole number 7. Silver Prospector still at 6-1 though, despite the Rebel disappointment. Number 9 is Tayshawn. He was 3rd in the Oaklawn Stakes, ran a good race there. He's 12-1. You might want to probe and look at him to use at the betting windows. Number 10 is Farmington Road, 4th in what was a very strong Risen Star Stakes Division 1. I think the horses in Louisiana were outstanding this year. Todd Pletcher is the trainer. He's 10-1. He was fast closing in the Oaklawn Stakes when losing to the long shot in that event. He's coming out of the post number 10 right alongside of Wells Bayou, who's probably going to be moved in from the 11 to the 10 since we do have a scratch from this race. So Wells Bayou is at 6-1. A lot of people have underestimated him, thinking he got an easy lead, a la the maximum security syndrome. He got an easy lead. That's why he finished. He doesn't want a mile and a quarter. He ran a mile and 3/16 at the fairgrounds to win the Louisiana Derby. So he's run further than any of these horses in here. Now, a lot of people believe with these different opponents that he's not going to be as effective, but I'm really not buying into that. He's coming out of hole number 10 with being slotted in with a scratch. I like his running style. He's as well-bred as Nadal is. I think he has every opportunity to win this race. Hence, hence we go to the picks for the second division. A lot of betting options. I do have Wells Bayou as one of my win picks over Nadal, with the number 4, King Guillermo, finishing 3rd, the number 10, Farmington Road, finishing 4th. You could also maybe even use Silver Prospector if you think he can step up and run top 4-ish in this race. The next set of scenarios would be Farmington Road winning over the 11, Wells Bayou, with the number 3. That would be Storm the Court hitting the board, and Silver Prospector, both horses performing well. The 10, the 11, the 3, and the 7. You also could use Farmington Road over Nadal, the number 5, the 10, and the 5, and then the number 4, which would be King Guillermo running a good 3rd, and then the number 11, Wells Bayou, finishing 4th. 10, 5, 4, 11. My final pick is going to be Nadal, just by a little bit over Wells Bayou. I like Wells Bayou a lot in this race. A lot of people are underestimating him, thinking the Louisiana circuit wasn't as good as the Florida circuit. I'm not buying into that. I think he's a real legit 3-year-old for Brad Cox, but I do have Nadal with a slight edge. It's going to be interesting. The 5, the 11, the 10, Farmington Road, and then the number 4, King Guillermo, finishing 4th. Maybe you could throw Silver Prospector in your number 7. 5, 11, 10, 7, or my pick of 5, 11, 10, and the 4. So those are my picks for the 2020 Arkansas Derby. We're certainly going to recap it right here at the CS Racing Report.